Yo, what's up aliens? AHEE here, and today we're going to be making 3 spooky sounds inside of Serum. Let's get into it. First off, we're going to start with putting the oscillator A onto basic shapes, and we're going to change it to a square wave. Next, we're going to put the voicing down here in mono legato, always in portamento at where are we gonna get it at? Around 70 milliseconds. Next, we're going to go to this folder here, and we're going to go to basic, and we're going to load up a sine wave. I don't know if y'all have ever played around with that before, but you can like load in and also save different LFO presets. I really think you should start getting into the habit of, if you make a really cool, interesting shape, to go ahead and save it to use for later. It's really, really useful. I just started getting into that habit. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to make these curves a little bit harder and turn them more into like triangle shapes, like that, by grabbing that little piece right there, making them straighter. And then we're going to go into the matrix. We're going to have LFO1 as our source. Our destination here is going to be global master tune. And then we're going to set this type to both ways, and we're going to just move it 1. And oh yeah, also I forgot, here on the LFO we're going to turn off BPM and set this to 10 or so hertz. Yeah, there we go. And I think, boom, there you go, the first spooky sound. This is like the classic, you know. So you can also do some variations on these. One I really liked was going to spectral and selecting trilobite 2. I'm going to turn off oscillator A. And then we set this to 73. Yeah, like that. Just gives a different timbre, a different voicing, which I really liked. Then also we'll turn up the unison to 7. Yeah, it just thickens that up. Next, we're going to turn on some chorus, some reverb, and compression. We'll put the compression after the reverb. On the reverb, we're going to do up the low cut. I think that'll be good. And then the gain, we're going to up to 8.6 dB, around there. And threshold, we're going to bring it down to negative 16.5. Yeah, so just a tad bit there. And we're going to select multiband here. And we're doing this so that way we can bring out more of the character of the chorus and the reverb. That's nice. Now, I also like to do this sometimes with like really bright sounds. I'll come in here, make sure it's on the high shelf, and I'll just turn down the gain a little bit, but just up here in the like 15,000 hertz range. Just gives it a little bit less sting in the upper edge there. So that's a whole different sound. Now I might also go in here and add the sub in, put it up an octave, maybe add back in that oscillator A, maybe turn this oscillator B all the way up, and sweet, that's a pretty sweet spooky lead. Aye, Halloween sound number 2. Let's load in a new version of Serum. We're going to set both of these to basic shapes, and we're going to set them to triangle waves like that. We're also going to turn on the sub, and we're going to set that to a triangle wave as well, which is that third one right there. And what we're going to do is turn up this 3 semitones and this one 7 semitones. So essentially what we're doing is we're creating a minor chord here. So this is the fundamental, the third, and the fifth. Ooh. So next what we're going to do is we're going to change this envelope here. We're going to have a very long envelope. I'm going to set it at Yeah, around there, 1.55 seconds. And we're going to turn up the release quite a bit as well to 770 some odd. And that way it's got a nice fade in and a nice fade out. Now over here on the LFO2, we're going to do that thing again where we load in the sine and then make these a little sharper. And the reason why we're doing these sharper is so that way we get a more even blend, because if you notice that the more sine shape, it stays up at one note or the other for longer and almost creates like this wee woo wee woo wee woo kind of sound, and we want a more even wee 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 woo. My technical terms. Wee woo wee woo and wee 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 woo. Anyways, we're going to keep that on off. We're going to turn off the BPM. And this time we're going to set it to like around 7.7 or so. And again, here in the matrix, LFO1, destination, global master tuning. And we're just going to move this one. Make sure set is both ways. There we go. Nice. So we're going to add some last touches. We're going to add the chorus, reverb, and the compressor after the reverb and the chorus, and we're just going to turn up this gain just a few dB. We're going to turn up this low cut on the reverb too. That's so that way the reverb doesn't affect the low end here if there is low end. And let's give that a listen. Very spooky. Isn't that fun? I like that. It's like no matter what you play on the keyboard, it's going to sound spooky. All right, awesome. That is the second sound in here. Next, let's load in a new Serum. Again, we're going to load in basic shapes for both oscillator A and B. It's amazing how much you can make with just the basic shapes. Like I learned, like I always thought like there's all these really complex things and that I just didn't understand about sound design, and it blew my mind that the majority of it is just using these basic shapes, or you can at least get the foundation of a sound with the basic shapes, and then you maybe add some texture to it later. Now for this one, we're going to be playing a really low sine tone. So there we go. That's sub 1. You might not be able to hear it if you're on laptop speakers or iPhone, but it is playing a note. Now we're going to bring down this level to 23% on oscillator A, and then we're going to turn on the warp to FM from B, and we're going to turn this up to 20. Now over here on oscillator B, we're going to turn the level all the way down, and we're going to turn this octave up 3, the semitone up 3. Now here with the LFO1, we're going to create this shape. It's going to be a pretty unique shape, so follow along here. It's going to be about in there. And we're going to curve this down, and we're going to create a sharp angle down, so it almost looks like a shark fin, like whoosh, and then down like that. And we're going to put this on LFO1, so it goes all the way up like that. And then we're going to set it on the FM from B, but instead of doing it all the way up, we're going to set this to 15. All right. Now we're going to set it to envelope mode, and we're going to set the rate to 1 bar. Actually, we're going to set it to 2 bars. There we go. Now here in the effects, we're going to turn on the reverb. And we're going to set the decay higher at 5.7 seconds and turn up the mix to 37. So it's pretty wet. And we're going to turn up that low cut as well. We're also going to turn on the delay, turn the feedback pretty high to 70%, and we're going to curve this so that way we're just picking up the high end of the sound. And we're going to turn up the mix also to 44%. And we're going to turn on the compressor to bring that stuff up. We're not going to turn on the multiband. We're going to bring this up 5 dB or so. And let's listen to that. Oh, yeah. Let's bring up this, let's bring down the threshold. And bring up the gain a little bit more. There we go. Ooh, that's a spooky bass. And you can play around with this. Ooh, yeah, a little bit faster. I like that slow one though. That's creepy. Alright, and that there is the third spooky sound for you. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I wanted to do a fun Halloween themed sound design session for y'all. And if you like this, please be sure to hit like and subscribe. Maybe share it with a friend. But before I go, I wanted to share some of these Ableton racks with y'all. So here we've got that bass sound again. And we're going to put the multi-band amp on it. And I'm going to turn up the amp amount. And I'm going to play around with this amp type. So listen here. Ooh, yeah, that's nice. That's really nice right there. It just adds like that grit to that sound. You can also do it to the mid-range. Pretty crazy. This doesn't really have any highs, so the high amp isn't going to be that much. But it does split these multiple types of distortion into multiple bands, and you can control the band splits with these right here. Now, let's check out this one here on our spooky pad. So I'm going to put AHEE's Radio Vox on here. Let's listen to this. And you can play around with the radio amount. Really great for intros and outros. I love using this one. I use it way more than just on vocals. I use it on drums, I use it on leads, on basses, anything that needs an intro and outro. And then you can use this to control how much it's distorting, because this way it's more clean. And then this adds some more compression in there. And that just sort of grits it up. And then this wiggle just warbles the heck out of it. A lot of fun, that one. I use that one all the time. Now here on this lead sound, I'm going to go in here and I've turned off the reverb in the patch that we just made of the spooky lead. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add AHEE's sidechain reverb. And what this does is that it sidechains the reverb away from the original sound, but then adds it back in after the original sound has gone away. Here, let me show you. Hear that? The reverb's definitely in there, but it's only happening once the original sound has died away. I feel like it helps keep things a little bit cleanlier, and it just sort of gives the reverb its own space and allows the sound to really shine through and still be dry and upfront, but still have that nice reverb to it. Alright, aliens, hope you all enjoyed this. If you want to get the Ableton, my Magic Ableton racks, they're available at the link below in the description at my Gumroad. And I will see y'all next week with another tutorial. Alright, hope y'all enjoyed it. Peace, aliens.